said good morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I do that every Saturday night. Good morning. We are just so thrilled that you all came out tonight because you put the call out and you just never know. So thank you so much for being here. And our hope is that this ministry will become a place where people feel welcomed, encouraged and strengthened through God's love and through the support of one another. We just want to share the why behind this ministry because it's such an important one. It seems to be a very busy and active one with all the memorials that we've been having. And our hope and dream is that what we are going to present tonight will flow into all the other hospitality areas of the church when it comes to prime time and any big events like Synod Assembly or farewells. And so, yeah, it's always about cake. Yeah. And so, but this is the model we're going to start with because we're doing this at least 2 to 3 times a week. So, and we have quite a few people here that are already our angels, and we thank you for being here and all these gorgeous, beautiful faces that you would like to learn more about this ministry and to learn more about where you could fit in. So Pastor White has offered to do a prayer, so we're going to let him up with prayer.
I also just want to say for myself as one of the pastors here that the Kitchen Angels ministry is one of the best things that we do here, I think, because the number of times we have people who come through who have never darkened the door of a church or who haven't since they were kids or only come with their parents or whatever, on days like this when they have a group of people who come together who don't know them, who will maybe never see them again, who come together and say, we love you enough that we are going to feed you lunch. We're going to make sure this experience is wonderful for you and your family, is beautiful, and it's a testament to the love that Christ shares and the love that this congregation is constantly sharing with one another, and it's a great opening door. I was doing a funeral on Saturday afternoon, and on Sunday morning, the son of the person who passed away was there in church and was just saying, I'm coming here now. This is going to be my church home. And that's just that's one story of countless. This is a ministry that brings people into the church. This is a ministry that brings people closer to God, so I am grateful for all of you. With that, let us pray. Lord God, thank you for those you have gathered here, for those you have called to be kitchen angels, to support people in grief, to support people in hope, to remind them of the love that God has for us. Lord, we know that you call many people to many places. You call some to lead with their words and to share God's love with words. You call some to share God's love with actions, with feeding people, with a comforting touch, with a comforting hand of love and care. And that is the call that you have given to these kitchen angels. So we thank you for them. We thank you for the love that you have placed on their hearts. And Lord, we pray for those people who are grieving, for those people who have lost loved ones and who come to this place to remember their loved one, to celebrate their life, and to celebrate and look forward to the resurrection, which is promised to all of us. For those who are currently grieving, comfort them and guide them. For those who will grieve in the future, prepare them and honor them. And for those who have grieved in the past, we know that grief never fully ends, and so continue to walk with them. Lord, we ask all these things in your holy and sacred name. Amen. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go eat dinner now. Have a good night.
Hospitality. Thank you.
I don't know if there's enough. I just did enough for
Thank you. So we will have handouts of everything that we're going to go over tonight, but we just thought it would be best just to, we'll talk about it, we'll have a time of questions, and then we're going to describe the different areas, the different teams that have put together through this task force. And then if one of those seems like, oh, I really would like to do that, then we have a specific handout for you. So anyways, we have, as far as you can see, what we'll be going over today. And Peggy, she's going to start us out. And you all know Peggy Valley, and if you don't, this is Peggy Valley.
Oh, when did I start? Oh, golly. 2011 maybe, or maybe before that. So this has been amazing. And I just love that I see so many angels here already, and I think we have some future angels out here, and so I'm excited about that. So thank you for being here. Our Kitchen Angels Memorial Ministry is rooted in the calling to bear one another's burdens, to offer comfort just as God has comforted us, and to embody his love in tangible ways when hearts are hurting. And trust me, we have many people here who have come to join us when their hearts were hurting, and they have found hope and caring people like the Kitchen Angels. So thank you for being here this evening. Stephanie, I believe you're next, my friend.
Really short. Wow. I usually stand up like this, so I feel a bit taller. I have to get every height advantage I can. My daughter's passing me. So you guys usually know when you see me it's an ask, and well, yeah, it's another ask, but let me tell you how I got here. I got a call from Sandy Evett and Christina, and they said, we're going to put together a task force for how, and mostly Sandy said, how can we help Christina and Peggy and Patty, because we have so many memorials that come through, and they're just one person each. So help is so needed. So how do we structure this? How can we look at this to make sure that everybody who wants to volunteer has a place and knows what their assignment is, so that nobody feels left out or not wanted, because that is the last thing we want. And the other thing I wanted to mention is angels are not just women. They are genderless and sexless, so we need everyone, men and women, and everything in between. So in summer of 2025, this was supposed to be a 3-month event, and we're still here. A 6-person hospitality force was initiated, and we have considered the memorial services and reception the first place and the easiest and most active place to start. We formed this because like I said, it's a tipping point. We need help, we need people, we need hands. And as Christina and Pastor Wyatt have said, there are people who started coming here because of the warmth and the care and the love that they received walking in these doors for a memorial. And I've been at memorials where they've asked, can I have a tour of this place? I'm like, I'm happy to do that for you. So it's a fantastic way to keep us living, moving, and breathing. So what will change as the recommendations of the task force are implemented? They're honoring those who have passed. It's going to continue without changing. What the recommendations are is to clarify those roles and expanding the opportunities so that everyone who wants to take part can take part, and yet, I love and yet you don't have to be tied to every single memorial service that happens. So that's the beauty of this. As well as, you like more than one role that we talk about, you can do them both. Some you can't, but most you can do both. One, other, and these are going to be able to, you'd maybe want to do a bigger role at one memorial and maybe a smaller one at another. You can do that. These aren't intended to limit, but they're intended to expand and to help include everyone so that you are all seen, heard, and valued. So I'm going to let Patty come up and talk about what is a Kitchen Angels Memorial Ministry Team.
So I get to do the definition of the Kitchen Angels Ministry, and I have not been involved as long as Peggy, but I've been doing this for several years, and I've just found it to be such a wonderful, fulfilling thing to help our church members at a time when they're going through a tough time. So basically, a Kitchen Angels Memorial Ministry team is the group that provides hospitality and practical care for families and guests after a memorial service. Their role is very important because they help create a peaceful, supportive environment during one of the most difficult moments in a family's life. We provide compassionate hospitality, support the grieving family, create a space for fellowship and healing, demonstrate the church's care ministry, maintains order and organization, extends the ministry of comfort. So like I think Stephanie mentioned that some people maybe have not been in a church for forever, and it's just such a great experience for them to come and experience our hospitality and our loving compassion. And I served at a memorial on Saturday, and it was the coolest thing. There was a tiny little baby, a 7-month-old, and her mom was, trying to get a drink and get food. And I said, "Oh, can I hold her? It's been so long since I've had babies. My youngest grandkids are 23 and 25. So I haven't held a baby for so long. So I held the baby for a while she could eat. And so it's just such a wonderful ministry, and you just never know what doors will open while you're serving, so.
And I think any of the angels that have already served in this ministry, they have stories just like this, because people are just so grateful. We like to take care of the details so they could just come and be present with their loved ones and the friends and family that also join for this ministry, as in any other hospitality that we offer here on campus. But it's from 2 Corinthians verse 1, verses 3 and 4. The Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble. And up here, you'll see some testimonies from different people who have had memorials here. And a few of them are here in this room because they experienced this hospitality after their loved one passed away, and we were able to serve alongside them. And so just take a moment. Luke's going to run through them, and you can read those. And it's just really a special testimony of God's love that's shining through each and every single person. So we'll just give you a couple of minutes. past, but you can see those later. We have it all printed out for you if you would like. And we have some here that you could actually ask them yourselves. But what the task force recommended, these specific updates, and we would like to create 4 roles in the Kitchen Angel team. And those roles would be a memorial assistant, and that role would help assist me in what I do behind the scenes and during the service. And then the other one would be a memorial service team leader, and that is what Peggy's role is currently. And she organizes all the angels that come and help do the setup and the preparation for the memorials in the reception area with the food and the decorating and all the cleanup. And then we're going to have also a memorial setup and serve volunteer and a memorial serve, clear, and clean volunteer. And like I think Stephanie mentioned earlier, that these roles can be intertwined. So if you want to set up, serve, and clean, you most certainly can. But there's some people who have limited schedules and they might only have a couple of hours, because most often from a memorial from start to finish, the angels get there a couple hours ahead of a memorial, and to do the setup and preparation, make all the drinks, and just make sure everything is in place. And then of course during the memorial, that usually is about an hour service, and then after that, then the reception starts. So it's a time of gathering when the family comes in, and just making sure everything is taken care of, all the details, from the food to the drinks, if there's any special needs, holding babies, giving hugs, yes. And a lot of times people want to just come up and chat with you, so you just are there to be a friendly smile and just shine Christ's love while you're there. And so after all of that given said, then you got to clean up the memorial. And so usually that goes pretty quickly, because when the family's done all the food, the angels will pack up all the food, whatever's left over, to send home with the family. And also something that happens during these memorials is you as a volunteer do get to eat. So whatever we're serving, that's what you're having. And most often it's usually sandwiches and salads and chips and yummy desserts, and everybody gets to choose somewhere different. So like this past Saturdays, the family chose Baggins, and the day before for another memorial, they chose Safeway, and they all do delicious food, and so you don't go home hungry, and usually you have a plate or 2 to take home with you. So you have dinner that night, which is always a nice perk. So you could come hungry and leave full. And yeah, in so many ways, but yeah.
I'll be short. So when will these be implemented? No, I can't be that short, sorry. I can't see over the thing. So when will the updates be implemented? Soon we will be able to have those signups available on our One Church software program. And the training in the new roles will be scheduled as soon as we can get that organized. We just don't want to rush it, but we also don't want to wait forever. So stay tuned for when that training will happen. And for those of you who are unsure about committing to this, come to the training. That's not committing you to, you have to do it if you come to training. If you're unsure, come to training. Come and see what's, come and see, taste and see. Isn't that what Jesus said? Come and see. Come and see how it works. And in the long term, we're going to utilize the One Church as that tool, which is going to be absolutely brilliant and easy to get in and out of once you know the system, right, Christina? Learning the system, but we will be able to help with that. And until that's going implemented for One Church, we're going to continue to use our email communications, texts, phone calls, and that will still be how it is working. So we'll go into the memorial assistant role a little more deeply I'll let Christina talk about that. She's tall. I'm not.
Okay, so who wants to work with me?
Me.
Oh, you poor souls. So this would be, it's a great help because there's so much that goes into planning a memorial. And so you would not have to personally meet with the family. I would do that. But on the day of the memorial, you will help me with the family, just making sure their needs are met and also making sure all the details are in place for the memorial. And so you usually will meet with me one time during the week prior to the memorial, and we go over all the details as far as what the menu is, color, what type of decorations, because there's always a theme and color. So like this past week we had a red, white, and blue one, and then we had a sage one. So we like to, you know, abide by the wishes of the family and usually what the loved one who passed away, what their favorite colors are, and their favorite foods. And so, but most of the responsibilities of the person who would be my assistant would be carried out on that day of the service. So usually, I would say a service is usually on Saturdays, but we seem to have them every day of the week right now. And so that also would help with your planning too, because so many people are busy during the week, but they might not have as much on the weekend or vice versa. So if you choose to be my assistant, then you could kind of choose by what day you're available and have more time. And the memorial assistant only has to stay through the memorial. After that, you are free to go unless you sign up to be like a setup and serve or a cleanup person as well. And then you would help with the pickup of the food and flowers wherever the family has decided that I will place the order, and we'll make sure that it's paid for, so you just go and pick it up and bring it back to church. We also, many of our services involve the columbarium, so you just make sure that all the details are set up in the columbarium where the niche is ready to go for the pastor to put the urn in, and that any flowers, any details that are needed out there. And we go over all of that together before the memorial. And then we also set up a private room for the family. And this is a room where the family will meet prior to the service, because so often it's so emotional for them to be here in the lobby in the narthex area greeting people. They don't necessarily want to be here in the church yet. And so we set up a room usually in Luther's Lair or Katie's quarters, sometime in the music room. And they have refreshments down there. Also, I have plenty of tissues and mints and the bulletins. And then the pastor will meet with the family about 10 minutes prior to the service, do a time of remembrance and prayer, and then walk with them into the sanctuary where then they will come in. And so you would just help with the setup of that. And also, if we do have an honor guard, many of our services are military, and so I take care of setting up the honor guard, but they usually show up about an hour prior to the service just to meet the family, make sure the flag is here, and then they practice, and then we tell them where they need to be for the service. And then we also have a setup in the narthex. And that is like an area where the guest book is, where the bulletins are given out, and many families like to do a remembrance area. And so the families bring anything. It could be their favorite slippers, hats, you know, pictures, golf clubs, things like that. And so we set that up for the family. And then during the service, then our angels will go and take those items and put them down in the reception area so people can enjoy them down there as well. And that's where the guest book usually is. And then all you would do is just make sure every detail, we usually stay in the church for the service to make sure everything's okay. Many times there could be a baby crying or somebody's coughing and they need water or mint. And we just stay in the back and we make sure that they can get whatever is needed. Sometimes they just need to know where the restroom is. And then after that, you're free to go. I stay, but you gotta go. So yeah, And we would go over more of those details, of course, in the training. And then one of the big things is under the skills and the traits is just the dependability and the reliability, because I really need somebody that I can rely on that will be here on time just to work well with me. And it's kind of a fast pace before the memorial, because we have limited time and the family usually gets here about an hour prior to the service. So we want to make sure all these details are ready to go, and then we could just focus on the family, care for them, love on them, and just whatever they need or give them the space. And so also there is lifting and bending in this position, large serving trays, and also attention to detail. I like somebody who knows where things need to be placed, and it doesn't have to be my way. It doesn't always have to be, though I do have opinions, especially which way the napkins go. But yeah, it's not my area. And basically you're just guest focused and welcome, because you're going to be the one that will be welcoming the guests as they come in for the memorial. So many are full of emotion already, and just to greet them and just tell them we're so glad that they're here. And then we share the information that there is a reception down in the outreach center, so that way they know that lunch will be served afterwards. Sometimes it's not lunch, but 99% of the time it is lunch. And then just having that compassion, that empathy, and a serving heart. And you know, a lot of it is we fly by the seat of our pants too, because anything could happen, anything can change, and just being flexible in that area. But you'll never be left alone. I'm always here with you, even though you'd like me to leave. And so the stakeholders for this would be me, and of course my team leader, and also all the angels that will be serving in the reception. We kind of oversee all of you too, just to make sure you guys are doing okay, because sometimes there's needs, or you have questions, or you need more of something, and that's what my assistant and I am here for. So that way you won't have to run all over, though most of the time you do run over, don't you? So usually a time commitment for this would be probably about 4 to 5 hours working with me on the day of the service. So that's just a breakdown of my role and my assistant. So should I ask questions? Or no, we're going to wait till afterwards. We're going to wait till afterwards, so think of your questions.
Because it might be answered.
Yeah, it could be. You're right. And we dress alike. Everybody's got to wear dresses.
You're going against
The angel.
Don't mind me, a little housekeeping here. One thing nobody has mentioned is that we have a good time. Truly, anyone that's been a Kitchen Angel will realize that we are kind of a family. We get together, we may not be the same team each time, but we really do love each other. We have a great time, and that's okay, even though it's for a serious situation. We need to just bond well, and we do that. I'm sure anyone here can say, hey, it's a good team. So, I'm going to talk about the team leader, and typically they look at me as being the team leader. We need more people to come and just kind of do the same thing. So what does a team leader do? Well, the team leader works closely with Christina to recruit, assign, and oversee the memorial service volunteers. The leader will ensure that all aspects of preparations in the kitchen and reception room are according to what the family has already requested and whatever the directions are that we need to use. The team leader will also manage any last-minute changes and or exceptions to the best of their ability. And what I will share with you is that every memorial I think that we've participated in, and I know the angels would agree with me, things do not always go as planned. Just like putting on an addition to your house. Things do not go as planned, always. But you know what? We try to be transparent, make it look like everything was planned to be. So I think this works out well for us. The team leader will ensure a compassionate and caring experience for the friends and families, for anyone that needs to be there. So what are the responsibilities? Well, y'all know me. I send out an email, and I always ask, if you are able to assist, please do. If you're not able to, you don't have to say, I can't go because I have a doctor's appointment that day or something like that. But I just need to know who's able to assist. And this is all done by email, but now we're going to get a little fancier, and we're going to be doing it on our one church. At the time you respond to me, since these are the things that we're changing a little bit, I'm going to set up and serve I'm going to have set up and serve volunteers who would like to volunteer to just do that. Maybe that's all you need to do, is set up and serve. If you don't want to do that, you can always clean up. Our cleanup is very easy. And we just need to confirm that all preparations are on track leading up to the memorial. The centerpieces are pretty standard. We ask what colors family would like, and we try our best to do whatever we can to accommodate those colors. They can't always be perfect. Christina is amazing. She gets the right color tablecloths. She does everything needed to get it to look really nice, and then we do our job. That's about it. So remember, you don't have to do all of it, but if you'd like to, that's okay too. I mean, if somebody wants to come in at 9 o'clock in the morning for an 11 o'clock service, and we set up, and we sit around and have coffee if we have extra time before things begin. If you don't want to do that, well, then you'll just come on in and you'll serve and leave, or serve and clean up. So there are choices. And this is what we're hoping to do, so that no one person feels like they need to be there the whole time. If you want to be, we'd love that, but that's okay. So, thank you. So what are we all about? Well, we're looking now at the skills, organizational skills, which is not just the team leader, but it's everyone that comes in. Typically what we have is we usually have, if we have a new person, and we do from time to time, and we love that. We love newbies because you're just so fresh, and we can teach you all the things we know. And we usually have someone, and I will look at Brooke and say she's pretty much our person that kind of is a mentor to new people whenever they come in to help us. This is what we do. Let me go with you. Let me show you where to go. Let me help you with that. We need to pay attention to detail, meaning whatever the family has requested, this is what we try to do. People walk in the door, they don't know where to go, they don't know what room to go to. We always have someone outside asking people, won't you join us? Please come on over here, we're 2 buildings over. And then we they go in the door, and family, most people know where to go, but not everyone does. And so, this is us, our focus is on guests, welcoming people. One thing I enjoy doing is I stand at the door and I keep pushing the button so it'll stay open, and people always just get a kick out of that. So, but that's just a little thing. I don't know of any one kitchen angel, and I know there are a lot of serving hearts in this room that are not compassionate and empathetic. And we all have serving hearts, or we wouldn't be here in this room this evening. So, again, we have Christina, who's our boss. We have our memorial volunteers, and we have the family and friends and guests that enter our welcoming reception area. So, the time, again, is up to you for the most part. If you'd like to stay the whole time, that would be wonderful. But if you don't, this is what we need to know. So please, don't be shy. I'm not shy. You may have noticed that. So, thank you.
So I'm going to talk about the Set Up and Serve volunteer. So the setup and serve volunteer, you'll work with a team of additional volunteers. Host the luncheon with refreshments following the memorial celebration. It serves on the day of service only. 2 hours typically, depending on the size of the memorial. It could be up to 4 hours depending. And I guess I want to say this too, that depending on the size of the memorial, some of these roles will overlap and a smaller memorial, depending on the size of it. So basically the responsibilities and duties of the setup and serve volunteers to decorate the room with supplies provided by Christina. And she provides everything for us. It's just fun. We put the tablecloths on, we do the centerpieces, we set up the silverware, we prepare the beverages if there's coffee required. Usually the iced tea and the lemonade, if that's necessary, has already been made. It's all ready to put out. If not, we can make it. And then we put out the food and serve it during the luncheon. So again, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours is the commitment. There actually is a safe food handling certification that we have to fill out. I've already done mine. It's not a big deal. You just go online and fill out a bunch of questions and they give you a certification. It's pretty cool, actually. The other trait, reliability and dependability. We need to know that you're going to show up. Some kitchen skills, sometimes cutting, chopping. This last memorial we did, we basically had to cut, they were big brownies, we had to cut them into, and put them out. Attention to detail, obviously empathy, compassion, guest focus and welcoming, because we're the ones that are greeting the guests that are coming in for the memorial. I have to say, and sometimes thinking on your feet works a lot, because this last memorial, we had set up for 72 people. We had set up 9 tables of 8. Well, 20 people showed up. So we said, oh boy, this is going to look terrible for the family to come in and see all these empty tables. So we quickly called the custodian and had him take down 4 of the tables and just made it look smaller, so it didn't look like, oh my gosh, we were expecting all these people. So just, stuff like that, and just things that you just think of. So I think that's it.
That's the beauty of these memorials or any of the events, is just the spontaneity. And you all have so much to give, and so if you see something that you think needs to be done, you could do that. And that's beautiful for the family, and I really appreciated that. And even though we had so many angels here to serve on Saturday, and we had such a small turnout for the memorial, we offered, any of you can go home if you would like to, but every single one stayed. It was a time of fellowship for them, behind the scenes, and just because they wanted to be here, because they cared enough to stay. And so I truly appreciate that, because I can't do what I'm doing without all of you. So I really appreciate that. And so the final role in the 4 positions is the serve, clean, and clear volunteer. And so if you just want to come in for a couple of hours at the end of the memorial, if you can't be here at the beginning, this is a role that you could sign up for. And basically you're just serving the food, greeting all the guests that are here, and then once they're done, you do of course help pack up the food, and those that stay usually get to take the food home too, just saying. And so afterwards then you just start clearing the tables. Once the family leaves, we try not to clear anything until the family has left, because we don't want them to feel rushed like they need to leave, because a lot of times this is the only time that the family and these friends are here to gather, because so many are flying off in different directions, or they're only here for the day. And so afterwards we just clear all the tables and make sure everything's cleaned up. You don't have to, the physical labor is not taking down the tables, stacking chairs. Our maintenance team does all of that. So basically, you're just taking all the tablecloths, silverware, cleaning up the drinks. There are some dishes that need to be washed, and we'll be happy to train you in the kitchen. That's part of the kitchen certificate. And the dishwasher's a beast, but it works amazingly well. And you all can do it. I always say, once you learn, that's what you're going to do. And we appreciate that. And then after you're done with that, then you get to go home. And it's a really vital part. Even though you think you're only there to serve and clean, it makes a big difference for all of us. So it is a vital role. And we still would require that you take the safe food handling course, and the church will pay for that. I think, is it $8? $7, $8? Yeah, so if you take it on your computer at home, you just bring me your certificate, and then which is a receipt, and we will reimburse you for that. And the certificate lasts anywhere from 1 year to 3 years, so you don't have to do it every year. But it's really helpful, and you'll understand why we need to wear the gloves, why the food has to be stored a certain way, and just to make it a very healthy, sterile environment for the family and for one another. And like anything, it's the mobility and flexibility, because there is lifting, and there also is a lot of bending as well, and a lot of smiling. And it is a fun teamwork to do, and you get to work with all of us, which is a fun thing. And you also get to send the family off. So we usually will help pack up the remembrance table and help them to their car. And if they have any last minute needs, then you will tend to that as well. And so you'll be serving with all of us, whoever your team leader is, with myself, and then the rest of your team, which is a lot of fun. And like Peggy said, we do enjoy one another. And there is downtime. That's part of it. Sometimes memorials run a little bit longer than expected. And so that gives you more time to just sit, have coffee or iced tea or lemonade, whatever you would like, have a little dinner. And then the family comes in, and it's beautiful. So.
Are you getting all this? What's that? Okay, well, every memorial will require one assistant. The memorial assistant is not included in the reception volunteer. I mean, this is just kind of an overview now. Those interested in the role will be trained by Christina. The total number of volunteers needed is basically, and this is hard, those of you that we've had to ask, how many people are you thinking we might be able to have at your reception? Who can give you a number on that? We don't have a sign-up list, so that's really hard to do. But more often than not, families are able to come up with a decent number, and as happened the other day, we were planning for more and less showed up. Well, we accommodate that too. So usually if we have 60 or more guests that we're expecting, and we never know for sure, we'll use 3 or 4 volunteers. 60 to 80 guests, possibly 5 to 6 volunteers, 80 to 150, and yes, this happens, 6 to 7, and over 150 to 200. We will need 8 to 10 volunteers. So this includes, of course, the memorial service time leader too. So we are hoping to establish multiple teams. So this is where we're hoping we can get some help here. Patty does it sometimes, I do it as well. It would be nice if we had other team leaders. I know we've got some amazing people in this room who have helped out before, and I'm not going to be looking because you know I know who you are. If you're uncertain as to what role you'd like to be in, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So, I mean, you can do more than one thing, and that's what's important, or you can do it all. So, Miss Christina is going to give you the closing and what we're going to do now.
Yes. Oh, yeah, thank you. So the next steps, I know we probably put out a lot of information this evening, but we do have handouts. So if you want to take any of it and look through, there's checklists as well. We have that available. And then so we would love for you to sign up to explore this further, to find the right role for you. And also, we could help you too through the training, match you to the right role that might be best for you as well. And anybody could do this. So even if you have any type of restrictions, you are so welcome, because we work together, and so you will not be alone. And then hopefully, depending on how many volunteers we have from this evening and those that weren't able to be here this evening, we could hopefully make at least one other team. The dream is to have at least 3 or 4 teams, but we're happy to start with 1 or 2 teams, just to relieve. So Peggy doesn't have to be here every time. Brooke doesn't have to be here every time, but if she wants to, she can. And Kathy and everybody. And then we will start to offer training, and during that training would be the safe handling license, and then kind of walk through everything. So you'll learn where everything is in the church, and because so often there could be people here this evening who have never been even out in the columbarium. So we could show you that, and we work closely with our facilities team, because they do all this setup for us, which we are so grateful, and they do all the takedown as well. And so once we do the training and we can establish the teams, then we could get going, and we'll train you on one church, because I know it's daunting. It's not up and running yet for everybody, but it will be, and it really is simple once you get into the nitty-gritty. And then regardless, if you came tonight and you're not 100% sure, you could step in anytime, and we'll constantly be doing the training. And so, and some people have plans for the summer, or they're going away for the full winter. You'd be crazy, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're available, we would love to have you. So we ask that you just contact any of us if you have any further questions. But do any of you have any questions right now that we can help answer? Stephanie has a microphone. She's going to start
We
singing.
need to have a microphone so that there are people joining us online if you want to wave. Are there any questions in-house so I can get you the mic?
Oh, yes.
Start right here.
For all the memorial services, is all the food brought in every single time?
Yes, that's a good question. 99.9% of the time it is. We do have exceptions, because we do have a couple of people in the church that have cooked for prime time, and the family has requested that they prepare the meal, and that is possible. But 99% of the time it is brought in from other places. So it could be Olive Garden. We've done Olive Garden. We've done Baggins. We've done Beyond Bread. Safeway. Yeah, Safeway lot. Yeah, La Hacienda we've done. We've also done, what's that, El Molinito. So basically it's whatever the family prefers, and the desserts as well. So we do brew the coffee and iced tea though.
Is the table service all disposable, or is there any china involved?
Yeah, it's all disposable. The serving utensils usually are real serving utensils, and same with the water pitchers and the decanters for the beverages. So those all do require to be washed, and sometimes the platters. because however the food is brought in, sometimes it's plattered beautifully, other times we need to replatter it just to make it look more attractive. And that's because of me. So,
The dining space footprint, do you generally do that as a buffet always goes here table? Is there a guide, so to speak, that you follow for most of them?
pretty much, yes. And every memorial, every reception is so completely different, but as far as the setup, pretty much it is the same where we do the food service and where the tables are set up. And we usually do the receptions in Katie's quarters if it's under 60 people and that room is available, or we'll do the gym and we could partition it off. So if it's not a huge memorial, we could partition it so it's accommodating for 40 people even.
And the issue about everybody's got to wear a dress.
She forgot that part. Angels are not.
Yeah. No.
Could we run through that one more time?
As long as you get to pick, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, you don't have to.
thank you. Appreciate it.
We do encourage the angels if there is a theme color, like Kurt's was in red, white, and blue. It was a memorial one, so we encourage the angels to wear red, white, and blue, just to be, it's just nice for the family to see that, I think, but you don't have to.
So when you form the teams, let's say, I'm on team 1, and I get the email, can you work? And then what if I'm not here? Is there going to be bad news
No.
about that? Because, okay.
Yeah, we
I
remove one of your
want to be
feathers.
reliable, but I'm not here all the time.
Yeah.
Well, my response to that would be that, first of all, if you say you are going to be at a memorial and then life happens and something gets in the way, which happens so often, I do ask for backups. So we always have someone in the wings waiting in case you can't do it. So you have to call the morning of. We would prefer the night before if that's possible, but if it's at the last minute, we will try to have somebody there for you. And if we don't, it's still transparent to everybody. It all works out. Okay? And so when the email comes out to you, I'm not sure exactly how we're going to work this for teams, but I think it will be all done online. One church eventually. When that email goes out, then you will be responding to one specific team, I believe.
I gotta move faster.
I was just curious, does the family pay for the food?
Yes.
Looking at the list of skills and traits, I'm going like check, check, and this says chopping, cutting. So do you have to have all those skills and traits to be in that part? Or as you may have just said, there would be somebody else who could do that part?
Right, yeah, so
I'm a danger
those are
at
just general skills, and so there's always others to help. So you're not left alone to do everything.
Okay,
No emergency room visits.
Right.
We don't want to have to.
okay.
Only for
No,
me.
nobody claims either. Okay. And are there often video presentations, and is that done during the reception? Is that the family's responsibility? Is that nothing? I'm just curious.
Like a slideshow.
They have a slideshow that's going.
Yeah, oops, sorry.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
that nothing to do
so
with this.
if the family does request that, and we do set that up, sometimes families want music in the reception or a slideshow. And so our tech team, it takes care of that. So you don't need to do that. They set all of that up.
And then just out of curiosity, so is every memorial service here, they're going into the columbarium?
Not every service.
Okay, I didn't think so, because
Yeah.
they have other places. Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not enough room. Okay.
Normally in the columbarium, I'm going to interject here for you. They usually ask for just the family to go to the columbarium because it is very small. So for the inurnment, a lot of times we excuse the congregation or the guests to come over to reception, and they can start doing things there while the family is at the internment. I was at another memorial where we all stayed and we waited here until the family came back out. I think it just all depends. So it can be done either way, but generally there's not enough room out there for the entire congregation to join, so it's normally just the family that goes out there.
Yeah.
And there's a question here. I love all the questions.
Does serving mean taking the food to the individuals at the table, or does it mean being at a table where the food is put out like a buffet?
Yes, so we lay the table out and the guests come through line. So you help plate the sandwiches, the salads, the desserts, all of that. And then during the reception, as people are seated, an angel usually goes around to offer more dessert or more sandwich, and so a lot of times we go out to the tables with the dessert after everybody's gone through line, because everybody's so polite, and then when they are offered, they like, yeah. And so that might require it. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you wouldn't have to do that. Another angel can do that.
Here I come.
Yes, Melissa.
As working parents, we do want to volunteer, but if our time commitment is maybe only on Saturdays and maybe once or twice a month, can we join a team? Oh, as working parents, if our commitment can only be on Saturdays and maybe only once or twice a month, can we join a team, or should we be backup, or how should we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We
You
could
could do
join
it
a
all.
team. Oh, okay.
Because we don't know when these memorials are planned. I mean, like this past month, we've had 7. And right now we have a break this week, and we have one. Do we have a break next? I don't know. The next one's not until the 27th. And so usually some memorials I'll know a month or 2 in advance, and we could put it out there, and at that point, if you know you're available. Other memorials, they might come in and they need it to be done in the next 2 weeks. And so we put that out there. So yeah, you are not limited whenever you're able. We want this to be the flexibility where the same people don't have to do it all the time. And right now we have such a limited team and resources. It would just be so nice to have other teams to do this as well. And that way, if one of us is unable to be here, other people could step in and still care for the family.
You could also serve on more than one team, say if you're not working in the summer, or if you're gone, snowbirds, if you're already gone and watching, you can't be here in the summer, but you can be here in the fall. Or it's flexible so that everyone is included. And that's what I think the beauty of this is we're trying to make sure that there is space enough always for everyone in however you can serve. And so that is the goal, is so that no one feels that, well, I'm not needed, because, oh, you are so very needed, very much.
And even though there's downtime, I know sometimes people are like, I need to be busy, but there is going to be downtime between the setup and cleanup and the serving. So that way, by creating those different roles, if you can't stay and have downtime, then you could just participate in the setup and serve. Or if you can't serve, just come and set up, and then the other team will come in and do the serve and cleanup. So I think with that flexibility, it limits your time could fit into your schedule what we need for each memorial. And some receptions are very simple. So, yeah. Yes, Ms. Brooke. Oh.
Oh, wait, I'll get right back to you, Brooke. Go ahead, Susan.
I'm sorry, I have another question about team. Are you on a permanent team or teams, or if you volunteer for that particular day, you are on that team who is working that day?
Right. So, yes and no.
Okay.
So we would like to form teams, and so we could rotate. So say there's 4 memorials in June, one on every weekend. We'll just use that as an example. We would assign the first one to team 1, the second one to team 2. But
But you could be on all 14.
yeah, And there could be a time when there are people that are not available on Team 1 that we can then call in people from Team 2 to fill in. So,
It just helps divide so that you are not responsible for every single memorial, like 4 in a week.
right.
So, Brooke had a question.
Yeah, she was saying, as far as that, I'm kind of like a mentor. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable, and so if you're brand new, chances are that there's enough of us angels that have been here for a long time that you'll never be on a team without someone that has been there before. And when we set up decorations, we set a table as an example, so that if you could look around the room and you could see what hasn't been done as far as this table is concerned. And it just flows. It really does. I never want to be anywhere where I feel uncomfortable as a newbie. And so I kind of help out with the people that haven't done it before so that they won't feel like they're uncomfortable because they're a newbie. And I'm thrilled to see guys too, because we need you. We really do need as many men as we can have, as we can get. Just ask Charlie over there. He's been doing this for a while, and we really do appreciate him. I'm losing my voice.
I hear that.
Too many memorials.
If you're serving as an angel, are you allowed to come into the service too? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. And many times the angels come and sit in the back and they are part of the service. I mean, it's a beautiful experience. I mean, because they're all so different and you learn so much about the individual who passed away, the stories and the remembrances. So yeah, of course. And then usually before the end, if you could get back into the kitchen. So, yes.
Yeah. Are there any other lingering questions right now? Awesome.
That is.
It's up to you, Christina.
So
Close
thank
us
you
out.
so much. So I really, if any of you would like to, sign up for further training or want any handouts, please come see us. We're right here in the front. And we're just so grateful that you took the time on this evening, on this hot day. I heard it was hot. I haven't been outside. And so thank you. I'm just overwhelmed by, yeah, we're going to lock you in until you sign up. And
You're locked. You can leave when you put your name on the paper. No, just kidding. We don't do that this way. That's not how this works.
no. And honestly, any question, I mean, I am happy to answer any question. And it really is fun, easy work. And it just kind of is busy, especially if you're my assistant. I try to be nice. I might panic at times, but no, I truly appreciate all of you here, and even if you could work one memorial a year, I would be so grateful, and the team would too. So thank you, because it's a vital ministry of this church, and so many people, like I said in my announcement a couple of weeks ago, so many people come into this space and they have not been in church for years for numerous reasons. And they could just see that light coming from us and that care. And that matters so much. And so you make a difference. You truly do. And I thank you for that. So, are you okay? All right. All right. You all are excused. But come see me and sign up. Oh, Peggy has something.
Well, I wanted to mention that if for some reason, like you had mentioned, you're only available on a Saturday or something like that, if there is one day in particular that one person might feel that they're only available, let one of us know that, because then we'll just kind of go around, go with that. So.